Okay, for Saturday, we're going to study the fields, which expands our agriculture, flowers, and seeds, which are all under botany. So we get to learn 3 things for the price of for one skill, which is always good. Also, we're going to expand our botany study level. And then I figured we should meet with our mentor again and see what she has to tell us. So, yeah, let's start. Deciding the time is right, you send Owen a message asking her to meet. In reply, she asks you to meet her in the garden gallery, telling you how to find it in case you haven't been there on your own yet. At the proper time, you make your way to the garden and take a bench in the middle of the lush area. Cradled between 2 buildings, the garden gallery has many tall, leafy trees seemingly interspersed at random by shocks of tall grass. Though the placement of the grasses is supposed to seem random, you feel as if you can detect a pattern if you let your eyes unfocus just so. The sound of a familiar voice draws your attention to a small clump of girls walking lazily down the center of the garden. Students everywhere are flitting about hither and thither. But Owen and her friends are taking things slow. You wave tentatively, wondering if Owen meant for you to meet at another time. But Owen sees you and says a few words of goodbye to her friends, strolls over. Sorry if I'm late, but one of my friends needed some help with a little project of hers, and since I'm better at incantation than she is, she asked if I'd step in and do her a small favor. What are friends for? Of course I helped her. That's what members of a clique do. Clique, you say? Sounds exclusive. The corners of Owen's mouth jump down. Sorry, it's not meant to. It's just that the professors have taken to calling groups of friends cliques. And when professors keep saying things like that, it's only a matter of time before the students are too. Anyway, tell me about your time. Things going okay? Well, I got my ass kicked, but other than that, kind of okay. You give Owen a brief rundown of what you've been up to since you last met. Oh, also gardeners think I'm a gardener as well, even though I'm like a 10-year-old kid, but whatever. Walking you over to your just vacated bench. She sits down and gestures for you to do the same as you continue to tell about your activities. When you're finished, she nods and says, sounds like you've been busy. You shrug. After all, if beauty is in the eye of the beholder, so is busy. Owen waves off your modesty. Too many students are frozen during the first half of their school year. Really? She says just by doing what you've done, you're already ahead of the curve. Yeah. Nothing like refusing to be a gardener and getting my ass kicked. I'm ahead of the curve. Today I thought we'd talk about relationships and cliques. Relationships are pretty easy to define. It's just how one person feels about another person. Be it good or bad, relationships can change by actions, abilities, and even certain spells. Having a good relationship with a person can mean having good help to draw on while you're here at Academagia. But it also means putting up with their problems as well as their triumphs. Good friends might ask you to be their second in a duel, which is a whole nother story, but they might also ask you to sneak around with you for a midnight kitchen raid. Friends are constant sources of amusement, believe you me. Only good friends can form cliques, though, and that's where the real fun is. Cliques are groups of like-minded people, or at least people who can get along together better than most. People who are in cliques can take advantage of each other's skills, abilities, and great stuff. Really. You can't just force someone to be in your clique, though you have to ask before you can befriend someone. I'll give you this hint. The higher your relationship is with a person, the better chance of befriending them. No shit. You nod, thinking you've taken it all in. You repeat what Owen said, making sure you got over the need to have a good relationship with people, how to add someone to your clique and befriending them. So that's what these things over here. These tabs are relationships. Show us all our relationship with not just students, but professors. That I don't think a professor can be in my clique. That would be awesome. So we actually have a few people at level 2. Oh, that's my professor. That's probably why. Oh, we have someone at 4. That's interesting. Okay, I'll look into this guy later. And these are cliques. You can see everyone else's cliques. So these 2 people are the Academagia guides. And these 2 people are the Society of Elevated Discussion. Man, that's just, I don't know, that just seems a bit much. Good, now there are many ways to increase your relationship with someone. Learning how to gossip is one way to do it, which is a skill. Which, let's see how much we got in. Oh, no, gossip is not a skill, apparently. Interesting. This is one way to do it. Just helping someone out at the right time is another. So random adventures, you can do stuff for other students. Now look over there. Do you see that person? You look and see Floor. We see Floor struggling to get a book back from a plant, which has lashed several vines around the book and is engaging the poor student in an embarrassing game of tug of war. Why don't you go over there and see if you can help her? Get that book away from the 5-handed tree. Owen says it might help start you down the path of friendship we were just talking about. So yeah, we have a couple options here. We're going to try school survival and ask Owen for a little bit of advice to see if that can give us a little bonus. Owen tilts her head and taps her cheek with right index finger. I don't want to make things too easy on you, she says. Sorry, you're going to have to figure this on your own. Fuck you too. Well, I could just say forget it. You don't really want that person as a friend. Which, let's find out if we do. Whoever said that the Duran students are noble and brave apparently never met Floor. She likes to use revision spells to turn people's things into nasty little bugs or other such unpleasant items. What the hell? She holds the college record for making the most Duran girls cry at once because of a particularly nasty hairbrush turned scorpion. You can do that with revision magic? The skill proves useful in pumping others for information. Nobody's sure if Floor is lashing out for any particular reason or if she can just has a natural mean streak. However, she did apply to be in Durand. Could it be that Floor isn't all bad? Let's go and try and help her. Most importantly, we just don't want to piss off the people in our own college, I guess. You clearly remember something that was said in the common room a few days ago about some of the flora around the school. The 5-handed tree just likes to play. You remember hearing one of the other students say, if you just let it think it's one, it gives up whatever it took and leaves you be. Confident in your ability, you walk over to Floor and ask to take a shot. Raising her eyebrows, she gestures for you to take your best shot. With a confidence born straight out of memory, you take hold of the book and loudly weep at your loss, bemoaning the fact that neither you nor your friend could possibly be strong enough to manhandle the book away from the winning tree. Upon hearing these wonderful words, the 5-handed tree promptly releases the book and returns to its starting position, eager to play and win against someone else. Handing the book back to the student, you exchange a quick smile before Floor rushes off to class. Walking back to Owen, she says, "Great job, just like that. I promise that she already thinks of you as a better friend." Yep. Than a day ago, which means you're that much closer to building your first clique. Owen tilts her head and listens to the bell tower chime, the quarter hour heaving a sigh. She says, "Sorry, but I promised one of my friends that I'd meet them in 15 minutes at, well, it doesn't matter where. How about this? You work on what we talked about the last 2 times and send me a note when you're ready to learn some more. Okay. Before you can answer, Owen dashes off. So, even a random adventure. This is a fruitful day. You're just about to finish casting a spell when your rock makes a strange noise. It's not the kind of noise that it's ever made before, and you glance around quickly to see what's the matter. To your surprise and horror, it is huddled up in a corner, bright green and shaking. As you stare, it lifts its head weakly and meets your gaze with big, pitiful eyes. Something's terribly wrong, and your rock is trusting you to help it. Well, we're not going to use revision spells because using magic we don't know seems like a terrible idea. Conversation, ask your familiar what's wrong. Okay, I think in this situation, let's just go ask a professor. We have a small chance of succeeding. Oh, but what if we get detention? We gotta try. We gotta try getting a professor. We don't want Mr. Pebbles to die. You quickly throw your cloak over Mr. Pebbles. Shivering body. I wonder if this random event can be for any familiar, because this makes no sense for a rock. And dash out into the hall in search of a professor. It takes you a lot of searching before you finally find Professor Viada. Viada? We don't really know him, and he seems to be... Well, he's our history teacher. How do we not have a good relationship? Just about to leave a classroom. In your hurry, you don't slow down in time, and you catapult right into him. God damn it. Knocking him in a pile of papers he was carrying toward. You have no time to listen to his angriness. As he picks himself up, he gabbles out your story and are relieved to see his face grow serious and grim. You run back to your room and gallop, and the professor now lift the cloak off your friend. The professor looks over, mutters a few charms under his breath, and then holds his wand stiffly over your rock and chants 3 words in a quick succession. A strange mist rises off it, and suddenly it is normal color again. You are so relieved that you don't even mind the professor's lecture about proper care of familiar or the demerit he gives you. Now, I'm assuming I have to get a couple demerits before I get detention. That's how it worked when I went to school. Well, when I went to Christian school. That's the only time I've ever heard about demerits. You succeed at using, right? So, let's check our botany skill. Yeah. Awesome. So we can slowly bring botany up just by studying out the fields. That's perfect. So we'll probably pass botany, no matter what. We also learned about a bunch of different things. This is why we have such a bigger relationship with Vincent, because I guess we studied together and helped each other out with botany. Parents still hate us. We decreased Duran's merits by 2. Ooh. I mean, we were never gonna win.